70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore. They have all either fled the country, fled the state. They don't want to get raided while at work, so they have just moved on to work somewhere else. And straight up, we are gonna go bankrupt now. We are gonna go bankrupt. And yeah, we voted. We knew that the immigrants would get deported and he was coming after immigrants, yet we still voted for it. Overwhelmingly voted for our own demise.
Now I gotta go to work and act like a productive citizen. But yeah, I'm not here to complain. Just, it hurts today, and I don't want to be a farmer today. But we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Family, white farmers in America are crying for help. Tariffs are crashing them. ICE raids are just making them to lack the workforce in their plantations. Family, most of these white farmers were people who were supporting Donald J. Trump. They were people who voted for Donald J. Trump, and they thought that their interest would be put in place once Donald Trump becomes the president of the United States of America. But right now, things are different. Most of the farm workers who work in their farms are actually immigrants. And right now, after Donald Trump introduced ICE raids, in these plantations where most of the people are immigrants, right now these people are leaving the country in large numbers. They are afraid that they are going to be arrested and being put in the ICE detention centers. So right now, most of these farmers are lacking, people who can work on their farms. I've seen a story of the blueberries where right now they are lacking people who can pick blueberries and harvest them from the farms, and nurses are being begged, to come forth and help with the harvesting of these same blueberries. And the tariffs are so high that many of the farm products are actually very expensive. And many Americans are afraid that in the coming months, the prices of groceries that actually come from the United States farms are actually going to be high because there are no people to work on the farms and the tariffs are so high. So family, I want you to watch this video as many white farmers cry for help. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Let's watch this video together, family.
Well, it happened. The tariffs are now hitting American farmers, and they are making TikTok videos left, right, and center complaining about the costs of actually running their farms. You got to watch this.
I called 2 weeks ago to get a quote on these fiberglass steaks because we need some more steaks this year. I got a quote, 83 cents. I called the man this morning. I said, hey, I know these tariffs are crazy and everything going on. I said, what can you do me on those fiberglass steaks now if we needed a load? It's a 3-month ETA from time you place the order. He said, Taylor, you don't want to hear this price and I'm about to give you. And I said, well, give it to me anyways. He said, each of those steaks now is going to be $1.74 a piece. And I said, well, and I know both that we can't do that, and that's going to be impossible. Just to let you know a little bit of what we're going through out here on our farm and what farmers in general are going through. These tariffs, not the best thing for our country. I voted for Trump.
Maybe y'all saw the news out of Nebraska today. Apparently our entire state is going to go bankrupt in 2 quarters. Me and my husband owned a cattle ranch here, and I can confirm that all of the cattle ranchers here overwhelmingly voted for Trump. We support him. We voted for him. Something like 70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore. They have all either fled the country, fled the state. They don't want to get raided while at work, so they have just moved on to work somewhere else. And straight up, we are gonna go bankrupt now. We are gonna go bankrupt. And yeah, we voted. We knew that the immigrants would get deported and he was coming after immigrants, yet we still voted for it. Overwhelmingly voted for our own demise. I was talking to my husband last night, and I have to admit that it seems a bit foolish now when you think about it like that we voted for something that is now putting us directly out of business.
It's about $250,000 to $300,000 worth of revenue.
Just
Left to right. Yeah, which is one thing, but it's also lost revenue for the workers that would have been able to pick them had they been here.
Oregon farmer Ian Chandler says about half his usual crew didn't show up this season, leaving him scrambling to backfill dozens of positions.
You're calling them, I assume, individually
Yes.
and saying,
Yes.
what's going on?
Yes. And so
what are they telling you?
Well, in the beginning of the season, it coincided, unfortunately, with a lot of really strong immigration enforcement down in Southern California, where our workforce comes from. And that kind of had a chilling effect on people wanting to move.
While Ian says his workers are hired with what seemed to be a valid ID and work papers, fear of ICE raids kept many of them from traveling north this year.
You know, I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA's literally admitted to discriminating against black farmers. And literally black farmers had to sue, thousands of them, to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. When the government finally tried to pass relief for the black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, you know, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
75% of farm workers in California alone, did not show up to work today. A lot of these are undocumented workers. But there's also a percentage of them that are not showing up to their shift in solidarity. California produces and exports the largest amount of citrus fruits: strawberries, grapefruit, oranges, lemons, limes. You have grapes, you have artichokes. I see a lot of people on this app saying, oh, I'm having trouble finding a job and there's no jobs out there. But now there's gonna be plenty of jobs. What I wanna know is, what did Donald Trump think was going to happen? It is not just farms. These folks are roofers, they work on our roadways, they work in construction and drywall and paving. They do a little bit of everything. Be prepared for your fruits and your vegetables to drastically increase in price. We're not even a week into this new administration, and we're all in the find out phase. Now, even though I didn't fuck around, me and all of my friends that voted blue, we're in the find out phase as well, even though we didn't want to find out. We didn't fuck around, therefore we shouldn't be finding out. I'm seeing a lot of people that live in Mexico that are saying, don't come here. Don't drink our tequila, don't eat our tacos, don't buy our food, don't come to our beaches, our beautiful beaches and resorts. Who is going to be signing up to do these jobs? Because these jobs have to get done, right? Or you're gonna have fields and fields of fruits and vegetables that are going to die. They're gonna go bad. Then we can't bring them to the grocery stores. Who's going to do this? Who's going to sign up to do this? Because now you wanted them all to leave, and now they're leaving. So now what?
Hey MAGA, here you go. You've been waiting for this. Louisiana is hiring farm workers. You can pick blueberries for 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, May through July, for $11 an hour. You'll still need your Medicaid though. Happy picking.
There's stories all over the internet about farmers going bankrupt across the country. And I want you to know, I want to feel sorry for you. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to care at all. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because typically I have empathy, but I'm really, really tired of telling you farmers and you people that are in rural parts of the United States, I'm tired of telling you what your vote does to you. Yeah, I mean, you guys in the red states, you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you're broke. You don't have any money. West Virginia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, you get my point. You're broke. And yet you keep voting for the Republican Party that wants nothing to do with you. And farmers, guess what? You're included. But you keep voting red, and now you want me to feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. I just can't.
So recently it has come out that Nebraska is knocking on the door of bankruptcy based upon tariffs and a number of other policies that the current administration has enacted via executive order and the like. And that got me wondering about a bunch of things, and I found myself on farming TikTok or farm TikTok, whatever you want to call it, and listening to farmers who own small family farms in multiple states, both red and blue farmers, and y'all, it's scary. These are the people who are working the fields. These are the people who are cultivating our foods and making sure that we have food on our tables and food on the shelves in stores. And they are raising all of the red flags. And nobody's listening to them. The people on the ground who are in charge of the food that is going to our shelves, that are going to be on our tables, are all raising red flags, talking about the issues that we're going to face, including the fact that multiple countries are sick of the bullshit and back and forth with Trump's tariffs. And what they're doing is they're making long-term deals with other countries, specifically Canada. Like Japan just went around the United States and made a multi-year deal with Canada for corn. This is going to get bad really, really quickly, because a lot of farmers are saying that it's looking really, really bleak going into next year, as in, like, they don't know if they're going to continue to be able to run their farms with as much acreage, because they don't have people to work the fields, they don't have people to help pick the produce or whatever it is that they're growing. Folks, if you're not on the farming side of TikTok, listening to the people on the ground who are actually the ones dealing with this, who are going to be able to give us the biggest hints about the supply chain issue with food, you really need to get over there, because it's very insightful and terrifying at the same time.
Okay, this is for all the Trump voters, but most notably the Trump farmers that are begging Trump to stop these tariffs and to take these tariffs away. And you're sitting there whining, going, oh no, I don't like it that the one that is perceived above me is not listening to me, is not treating me like a partner, is not fulfilling my needs, has taken complete financial control over my life, and I have no say in it. And, he just won't listen to me. And I don't like being treated like that. It's very scary. I don't like it. Well, a message from a vast majority of the women to you: fuck off. You should have learned to pick better. All Trump wants from you is for you to be his peace. And he can't be your peace if you're continually nagging him all the time. Nothing Trump can do is good enough in your eyes. No matter how much he does, you're always wrong. It's never enough. You're so damn entitled. Like, it's not enough that the United States gave you all of this land. Now you want him to pay for it? Quit being a gold digger. If you don't stop and you don't keep your mouth quiet, you're going to end up dying alone with your cows. And won't nobody want you.
I'm seeing a lot of hate towards these Nebraskan farmers, and I would love to hate on them. But we have to root for them, because if these small farms go out of business, who's going to buy up these small farms? It's going to be the corporations. And we're going to be even more fucked than we are now. They're just going to be able to rule everything, price gouge us on everything. So, as much as I don't want to be supportive, we kind of have to support them and, do anything we can to help them out, even though they voted for the wrong person.
Good morning. It's Carrie from CHP. It's Monday. And today, I don't want to be a farmer. Farmers are supposed to be pretty resilient through hell or high water. Well, last year it was hell and now it's high water. So, I'm done today. I don't want to do much. And I'll be fine in a couple of days. It's just going to be a rough day. And I'm not making this for empathy, and I'm not going to start a GoFundMe account. Just farming's tough. It's been a hard season. Had a lot of rain that really messed up our spring crops and finished our fall crops before they started. That's just us on the vegetable side. Pink-eyed cows, rain on the hay. That's just in an agricultural sense. It's just been rough. And last night, my son lost his 4-H market steer project animal. His illness was, I don't know if it was preventable or not, but I'm sure we could have maybe done something about it if we had more attention to it. But then again, I don't even know. After 3 vets and a week of self-medicating and trial and error, we lost him. And that's a very expensive, a very hard lesson for not only my 9-year-old, but for the rest of us. And I know that there are people having harder days than me, fighting cancer, debt collection, homelessness. I know. There are people with bigger problems. But today, this hurts today. And I'm going to let it hurt. And I'm going to justify it because it's hard. Now I gotta go to work and act like a productive citizen. But yeah, I'm not here to complain. Just, it hurts today, and I don't want to be a farmer today. But we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Life's hard some days, I guess. We'll figure it out. I shouldn't complain. I've got 3 healthy kids. My husband has a job. I have a job. I have a vehicle to drive. I have a house to live in. I shouldn't complain about anything. But some days you just want it to, you know? We'll be okay. It just hurts today. And I could have filmed this in the field for more effect, or down in the barn for a more dramatic outcome. That's not what this is about. This isn't about content. This isn't about a flashy story. This is just real. Animals die. Crops fail. It is what it is. But we'll be okay. It just hurts today. I just don't want to be a farmer today. But we'll be alright.
Family, the presidency of Donald Trump in America has become one of the worst tenure of a president in America. Family life has been so hard, not only for the immigrants, even for Americans, the American citizens. We've seen crazy turn of events since the year started. We've seen a lot of these ice raids on many American farms, and the people who are now remaining affected are the farmers who actually voted for Donald J. Trump. When we look at it, the tariffs that these people are facing right now, they are very crazy, and people are questioning, why did they vote against their interests? Many of them voted knowing so well that their interests will be put in place, that their farms will have people to work on the farms. Right now, they are begging people to help them, and many people are shying away from these works. First, let's talk about the tariffs. When the US government slapped tariffs on China and other countries, it was supposed to protect American industries. But guess what? Farmers became collateral damage. Soybeans, corn, dairy export dropped. The prices fell, and farmers were left with surplus crops rotting in their stores. Many family farmers went bankrupt, while big corporations got bailouts. Family, imagine how crazy that is. Many of these people right now have a lot of harvest. They do not know where to sell them. A lot of these farm products are rotting. You know, these farmers are acting as collateral damage. Their soybeans, the exports for these soybeans, which have always been having a good market, have actually dropped, and the prices have also fallen. Remember, these farmers used the very same costs they incur, before the harvest. For you to get the harvest, you have a lot of these costs that you must pay. There are a lot of expenses, but right now the prices of the soybeans is going down and down. There's a lot of ice raids too, and this is making many of these white farmers to lack the workforce. There's a problem with labor. For decades, America's agricultural industry has relied heavily on immigrant labor, especially the undocumented workers, to plant, pick, and process food. But with ice raids, deportations, and hostile climate, many workers disappeared overnight. Crops went unharvested, and farmers suddenly realized Americans aren't lining up to do that back-breaking work. So who's going to pick the tomatoes, milk the cows, or harvest the crops? Farmers are literally begging for workers right now. They do not know who will milk their cows. They do not know who will harvest the crops from the farms. And this is all thanks to the president, Donald J. Trump. All thanks to the voters who voted him as the president of the United States of America. The irony is the fact that there is a twist here. Many of these farmers voted for the very politicians pushing for tougher immigration policies and trade wars. They thought it would help them. Instead, tariffs destroyed their profits, and ice raids destroyed their workforce. Now they are holding press conferences crying for government help. The irony is hard to ignore. We are seeing a lot of people creating content online, on TikTok, crying how difficult farming has been in the recent days. This is all thanks to the vote that people voted and trusted Donald Trump as the president of the United States of America. Family, farming is becoming tougher. You do not have a workforce. Tariffs are high. I can already imagine how crazy that can be. If you wanted to buy machinery, the cost of the machineries that you can use on the farms are also increasing. Everything is becoming expensive, and this is making the farmers to go deeper into their pockets. The bigger picture is that this isn't just about farmers. It's about America's food supply, the economy, and the reality that immigrant labor keeps the system running. Without it, prices go up, farms shut down, and rural America collapses even faster. Family, imagine how crazy this is. The food supply, the economy, and the reality of immigrant labor is just keeping the system to run. Imagine if this workforce is not available. Imagine the food supply in America. Imagine the economy. Imagine how much these same farm products would be in a few months. It will be crazy. The question is, should the government keep bailing farmers out? Should immigration policy change to protect the workforce that actually feeds America? Or are we watching the consequences of political choices play out in real time? Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'd really, really appreciate. Family, like the video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users. Lastly, kindly do consider subscribing to the channel. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subs, and fam, we will never achieve this milestone if you all don't share our work. And support us by liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. Thank you so much, and see you all in our next episode. Goodbye for now.